to play video games because that's popular right now, or maybe I'm a tarot reader, or maybe I do hair. Give me the fucking tools I need. And
I think, did we lose? Okay, your phone cut out. Did we lose her? I think so. My question to her was to give me an example, because she made the comment, you need to, give me what I give you. And if you, and this is where y'all have to really use logic. If you're in a relationship and, you make more money than me, I make less than you. Let's say I make enough to cover my bills and have a little extra, to be able to maneuver through life, do the little dates and fun stuff I want to do. There may be ways that you bring extra finances to the table that I cannot. So my question to her, and I think we lost her, was just to elaborate on what she means, because sometimes people cannot bring or give exactly what you're giving. They can give support, but it will be in a different way. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? I know we got another call on the line.
Hi, Dorsey. This is Misha. I'm calling from Brooklyn.
Misha from Brooklyn. So, Misha, what do you know about yourself when it comes to what you require?
I think the main thing I require behind anybody, anything, any situation is communication.
Okay. Now, when you say,
to waste my time.
I love that. So when you say I require communication, me and you are dating, and most people feel like they communicate. Even the ones that the stuff they be saying don't make sense. Like, for example, the caller before you, I didn't really grasp the concept behind what she was explaining, but you can tell from her energy, she thinking she delivered it correctly. So let me ask you this: when you first off, do you let people that you're dating or friends know, hey, I'm big on communication?
Yeah.
Okay. And then do you elaborate on what kind of communication?
Yeah. Because it's so big, no matter what it is. Like, if you're coming or not coming, if we're going to do something, if we're going to schedule something, anything, I want to be communicated about. Because I will give you time to talk to me, to call me back. And then if you don't, that's part of the, oh God, you didn't communicate with me. I wasted my time. I waited for you. I just, I was patient. I just don't like that.
So let me ask you, are you one of those people, because I've been having this conversation with people often. Are you one of those people where the person barely has room to be just an average human being? And I'm not saying this because this is bad. And I'm going to explain what I mean so you understand the question clearly. Are you one of those people that if we get off the phone right now and I say I'm going to call you right back, and I don't call you back, and it gets like 9 o'clock tonight and I still haven't returned your call, like, are you one of those people that I am now going to get like some sort of attitude from you the next time I talk to you?
No, that's what I said earlier, that I will give you time to call me back. So me allowing you that time to call me back and you don't, I feel like I will feel a certain kind of way, like 3-4 days later, and I don't want to use they didn't call back, that's the answer. Obviously it is the answer, but I didn't want to wait for that.
Right. Tay, I see somebody named Tay on Instagram. She said, I'm going to be upset. Somebody else said, I'm not going to even lie. I'm going to be mad. So now let me ask you this. When I call back, let's say I said I was going to call you right back. I didn't, and I end up calling you back tonight, like 10 o'clock. Do you expect some sort of like information as to why I didn't call you right back earlier?
No, because one, I know you're busy. I know anybody could be busy. I don't even have to know your schedule. That's why I will allow you the proper time. I will allow you days to call me back. Girl, I was so busy yesterday, and then I was thinking about you. I was going to call you, but then I got caught up in this and that. I understand.
Okay.
But the whole fact about never communicating, or how about like if I send you something and sometimes you could see if they saw your message and they never reply.
Right.
Like, and that I see that if you saw it, because you know how the program works, say something, just don't not answer.
Right. I got you. It makes sense. It sound you sound very practical. It sounds like you're not one of those overly emotional people when it's from what we're discussing. There are a lot of people, and like I said earlier, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. The idea is just knowing what you require. If you're one of those people that I'm going to be upset if you don't call me back when you say you're going to call me back, this needs to be communicated up front that this is something that I require. What else?
And for instance, like, I'm a graphic designer, so they'll call me on the last minute to do some miracle work for them, and it's due like, we need it like yesterday. Did you do it? Like, and they'll tell me, let's say they tell it to me today, they need this project done, and then tomorrow morning they'll ask me what's the update on it.
Right.
Like,
right. So no, I can see your work plays a role in you kind of being patient with people because you require for people to be patient with you.
Well, yeah, I do require people to be patient with me, but at the same time, I know they require an answer right away too. Because as a graphic designer, as a business person, I don't just make people wait on an answer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I don't want to be waiting on an answer. I guess I'm professional because my cousin was like, "Oh, you're too professional for me."
So let me ask you this: with relationships and picking a partner, have you had relationships where communication was an issue? After telling them up front, like, hey, communication is something I require, like clear communication?
That plays a lot of different things because they could be communicating with me, but that may not be the problem we're having.
But I'm asking, and this is why I'm saying this, because it's very vague to just say, I require communication. Most people talk their behinds off, and a lot of them ain't saying nothing. Or some people saying what they feel like is something, but it ain't making sense. Some people are engulfed with emotion onto everything that they try to communicate to where I don't know what you're talking about, or I don't know how you came up with this conclusion about what I supposedly did. So when you say communication, I'm asking this, and I'm just trying to help you kind of realize as you date, as you make friends, if you're big on communication, if you're big on hit me back, if you're big on like, tell me what's going on, let's talk about it. You got to make sure the person actually understands that I want communication to comprehend. I want communication that I can get how you feel or where you're coming from, and we can like talk back and forth, like we can receive each other's perspective and viewpoint. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So what I do in a way to make myself clear is I move on. Like, they don't communicate, they're not calling me back for X, Y, Z. Then I just do whatever I'm doing, and then they'll call me back on some, okay, I'm ready, and I'll be like, I'm not even there anymore.
Right, right. No, I get it.
I called you, and it'll be something that's supposed to happen, like, pretty soon right away, not something that I needed to wait a week behind. And then I'll just move on, and then they'll call me, like, later tonight, or I might not answer, I might be asleep, at that time, so that's how I teach my lessons, them a lesson.
Right.
Okay, well then I'm not going to be available, and I'm not waiting on you, type of thing.
Got it. I love what you added to the conversation. And if I was someone that you were dating, I just would like to be told that up front. Because everybody tolerates different stuff. Everybody is okay with being treated different ways. So I appreciate you calling in. Caller, I know we got another caller on the line. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from? I seen somebody on Instagram Call Me Yummy said on Instagram Live, said it's different when emotions are involved, and everyone is human to feel those emotions towards someone else if something bothers them about what they may have done. Yes, but the idea with communication is if you can't explain to me why you feel the way that you feel, we're not going to be able to connect. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Tierra Archer. I'm calling from Florida.
So I want to take a second to introduce my platform to my realtor. Her name is Tierra Archer. She's actually my broker. So I'm going to let her give herself a formal introduction. But I wanted to bring her on, and I'm going to start doing this every Saturday where we talk about real estate for at least 2 minutes. Because it's so important for my platform and, communities that follow me to really understand what's going on in the housing market, what's going on with home ownership, land ownership, investment properties. And we're going to start talking about investment groups because there's a lot of us that we need to start looking at multiple streams of income. Now, Tierra, you have brought a piece of information to me that I was like, oh, this is valuable. So I know, and I don't know about other states. I'm speaking on Florida right now. But in Florida, there are a lot of out-of-state cash buyers, people that are papered up, people that most likely have their families set up off of this pack mentality where there's generational wealth and there's money to be invested, and they are buying up all the properties. So then you look in the hoods and in the low income areas, you see all these people working on their credit, and now they're ready to purchase a home, and they go get with a realtor, and then they find the property they want, they get ready to put in their bid, and then one of these people from out of state puts in a can't refuse cash offer to the property owner, and they win it every time. Tell me about that.
All right. Okay, so what's going on with our housing market? Like you already stated, love, is we are getting beat out, trampled over. The first time home buyers, we want to know, is it non-existent? Is it existent?
Yeah.
Everybody's moving to Florida, basically, and they have cash. They're selling their homes upstate, and they're getting a lot of money for it. And so down here in Florida, it doesn't seem like a lot of money to them because they're able to just pay cash for it. So we have clients that go in, they put their bid in to get the property, and they're getting beat out. I mean, these people can come in and close in 2 days, whereas a first-time home buyer who has a normal job, who's been working, who works 40 hours a week, is trying to secure a home for their family, and they can't do it.
Tiara, I want to know from you and anybody that's on Instagram or Facebook that's a realtor or deals in real estate, if this is happening in your area, even when we talk about like gentrification, how do y'all deal with clients? Because a lot of times, especially when you look at people that are first-time home buyers or that come from low income, or they don't have an extensive educational background, we don't necessarily understand how things work. So we'll end up blaming the realtor. Like, it may start to look like, okay, she's a bad realtor because we keep bidding on all these different properties and we ain't never, like, I'm never getting a closing date. This is frustrating. I got to blame somebody. Tiara, it's your fault. Like, how are you as a businesswoman? Like, how do y'all deal with that as a realtor?
As a real estate broker, I'm very upfront with my clients, and you just have to educate them on exactly what their market is at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you bought a home 6 months ago, or your mom bought a home 6 months ago or a year ago, it's not the same right now. Like how people say yesterday's price isn't today's price.
Right.
That is exactly how it is in real estate. So really, you just have to be upfront with your clients and let them know, listen, we're going to have to put in a little extra work. We're going to have to go a little harder. We're going to have to look at 5 to 10 to 20 homes before maybe one of our offers gets accepted. And then that deal may not even go through. But it's okay.
Right.
Because we're just going to keep trying.
Right. I like that. It's somebody on my live, Tiara, from California. I don't know how to pronounce their name. It's long. But they said, yes, in California it's worse. They said they're a realtor. So I heard you mention California as far as buying up all the properties here as a cash buyer in Florida. But this person is saying it's happening in California as well. Somebody else said they're doing it in Los Angeles. Somebody else said Arizona as well.
Absolutely. I could only imagine. I am not a broker in the state of California. I am only a broker in the state of Georgia and Florida.
Mm-hmm.
But I could only imagine these big hedge funds, they're merging together and buying up all the properties. That's why when you mentioned creating a investment group, it's important for our people to understand that we are able to do that.
Yes.
I have created 2 here in Florida. Dorsey is a part of one of them, and she will be a part of one of them in Georgia. It's necessary for us to know the knowledge of things that we can do. You
Right.
don't have to just sit around. I mean, if your friend and his friend, you have 10% to put down on the property or a neighborhood to purchase. That's something that can be done. They're not doing it by themselves. They're actually teaming up, creating a hedge fund, creating an investment group, and they're coming and they're buying areas, Orlando, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and these areas where they know that the price of everything is soaring, it's skyrocketing.
Right. I seen somebody said they've been looking for a house for about a year, and like they already have with a VA loan. So I know it's frustrating for people that I'm already, approved. I knew I got military background. I knew I was going to be able to get a property with a VA loan, but now I can't find nowhere. Like, I can't win a bid.
Now, what you can't do, a VA loan is one of the best loans that you can have. It's 100% guaranteed. They would more likely take a VA loan from a veteran than a cash buyer coming in, especially if you have a great realtor who can go in, negotiate for you, sit down, talk to that owner, send letters and say, listen, this is someone who actually wants to live in this home, not someone who's just going to come buy it cash, rent it out. You just have to have a realtor who is very aggressive. As Dorsey knows, she has secured plenty of properties through me.
Yes.
That I'm very aggressive. You have to get with a team of people who you know have your best interest at heart. So you guys need to be interviewing these realtors, asking them questions like, hey, what time frame do you work? Are you able to answer the phone during these times? Like, if I say I want to put in an offer right now, are you doing that, or are you waiting 3 hours later to do it?
Right. I'm not gonna lie. I have to say to y'all, as somebody that has bought multiple properties, I'm very big on that. Like, Tiara knows she's been my realtor forever. It's the only person I've ever bought properties through, but I will call her and, hey, I want this particular house, or I want this. Tell me what I need to do. You know what I mean? And it's been times where she has, okay, we're not gonna get this one. We're gonna have to go for this, or we're gonna